Hello and welcome to my channel, Conversations from the Heart. My name is Danielle and I'll be your host. Today I have a very special guest with us. Her name is Bonnie Malitha, and she's actually a contributing writer alongside of myself in the upcoming book, Stories of the Goddess, Divine Frequency Keepers. And it will be released in March, I believe, this month, Bonnie. I'm so excited. So we've been on this beautiful journey, and it's a project we've all been a part of with Radhaa Publishing House. And I just have to say, it's been such an honor working with you and all the other women, such leaders in your own right and visionaries, and just bringing forth the process of this experience of the goddess archetypes and the power and everything that we're creating in this beautiful transitional phase of humanity for the better. And I just want to welcome you, sister, and kind of just have a brief conversation about our upcoming book. So welcome.
Thank you, Danielle. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just going to go over a few things here that we kind of just previously discussed in a different interview, which will be released with Radhaa Publishing House. But I wanted to ask you, what inspired you to contribute to the Stories of the Goddess? And how did you choose your topic and your theme? And how did that all get birthed for you?
Okay, well, so I came about it because I had met Radhaa through a summit that I did called the Inner Goddess Summit. And so I'd gotten to know her and about Radhaa Publishing House and all of that. And so she approached me and let me know that she had this book coming up and wanted to know if I was interested. And I was. And I was in the midst of very, very deep caregiving for my mom. And so I was really not doing much else. So I said, let me think about it for a minute. So I ran it by my mom because I wanted to know how she felt, because obviously everything I did affected her. And so she was very, very excited about it and very into it, which she had not been into any ideas that I had of things to do, or, things that I wanted to do, which is really unlike her. She was always very supportive, but at that point in her journey, she just really needed me to sit back and let go of those things for a bit, which was fine. And, it was my pleasure, my honor to do it. But when I mentioned the book, she was super excited and she just looked at me straight in the eyes so deeply and she said, do it. That you need to do. And I was like, okay. So I told Radhaa yes. And before it was time to, begin working on the project, my mom flew away with the angels, and so I was devastated. I still sort of am. No, I really am. Actually, not even sort of. Let's be honest. But so I had, through the process of all the things that you must do once a person has left their body behind. I was carrying out my mom's wishes, but those wishes weren't really very conventional or what we're accustomed to in our society. And so I needed to find the ways to do those things and to honor her wishes. And fortunately was able to do that. And afterwards was talking to Radhaa about it. And she said, Bonnie, she was like, this is amazing. I was really just too numb to realize, but she saw it and said, this is amazing. Would you be willing to talk about that in the book? And if it's too soon, it's okay. It's fine. You don't have to. And I said, no, I think it would be good, because I sort of innately knew that it would be very healing for me. And it really, truly was very healing for me to talk about that process. So that is what I wrote about, and how the archetypal goddess energy of Gaia played a role in that, and I was able to, through writing that, sort of see how it had been woven throughout my entire life so powerfully without me really being so cognizant of that.
Yeah, and I just want to thank you once again for your vulnerability to share you on such a important transitional time in your life, and that's what's so beautiful about the goddess archetypes, is they come to us at different points in our life during these cycles and transitions. And at one point you might connect with one goddess and another, and so on and so on. There's so many archetypes out there, and we are the frequency keepers, bringing forth these key codes of information, knowledge, wisdom, and it's happening in real time. So what you're experiencing is truly something what several people on this planet are experiencing. So it's absolutely relatable and supportive at the same time for you and for them. So it's like this beautiful synergy of just divine, beautiful guidance, and it's for women and men. And it's now is the time to break free and claim our rightful place on humanity, and just bring in these key codes to heal these ancestral, things that we have been, bombarded with and suppressed as the divine feminine. And it's up to us to rise and bring forth that energy of the champions, and overcoming our obstacles and stepping into our leadership and bringing into this beautiful love and support to humanity. So I really feel like maybe it might be so overwhelming for you at this time in your life personally, but it's absolutely it's a leadership role. It's absolutely like humbling, I'm sure, for you to have to experience this in real time. So I just want to honor that and thank you for showing up, because that's the key, is to show up, be the leader, the visionary, and have that support to feel that you're in a safe space to do so. So thank you, sister. I see you. Yeah. And so overall, the process, how has that been for you as far as embodying the divine feminine? How has that impacted your personal life and your work life?
It's funny we're talking about embodiment, because I have been, since my mom flew away with the angels, as I like to say, I've been thinking so much about disembodiment. So thinking about embodiment, it just really, years ago, I mean, I've been a yoga teacher for many, many years, and years ago, I sort of came about this concept of creating my own sort of style of yoga that I call goddess yoga, which is really a blend of belly dance. I hate to say that because I don't want people to think that, it's all about belly dance, but it's not. It's also about just your own freestyle, unleashing the dancer within yourself, but layering that into a yoga practice, because yoga traditionally has been practiced in a very sort of linear way, and that just never, while I love it and it felt great to me in certain ways, I felt like I needed something more. And so layering in this, because I was a dancer my whole life, so of course I have to bring dance and weave that into the whole yoga experience. And so I came about this thing I called goddess yoga. And so I started introducing that in my classes, and they loved it. They loved it. And it was so beautiful to watch. It's always beautiful to watch the transformation that happens to a person's face and body from the, when they walk in the door to a yoga class and when they're ready to go. But this was like on a whole nother level. And so I decided to create a workshop out of it, and I did. And I didn't want to close the doors to men. I mean, I called it goddess yoga, but at the same time, it was like, men, I don't know how they'll react to it, but I don't want to close the doors, because I love male energy and I love having men around. And so it was open, all inclusive. And at the first time I did it, a third of the class was men, and three of those were men that I had never even met, who had never even done yoga. They saw the flyer, thought it sounded cool, and they came. That floored me. That really blew me away. But what blew me away even more was their feedback, the feedback from these men who participated, saying that, wow, we have all these rules for how to be men, but we have no rules for how to be women. And you created this space where you supported us to just explore that and express it in any way we wanted. And it was so empowering. Thank you. And I was like, wow, how awesome is that? And so that showed me so clearly, illustrated to me that divine feminine aspect, yes, does reside in all of us. We know that from Chinese medicine, yin yang, all of that. But this just illustrated it for me so beautifully in life. And as you said earlier, in real time. And it really made me very, very empowered to start bringing this to people and offering this to people, regardless of gender, and that then led me into creating the Inner Goddess Summit, which now has led to this book. And it's just been a whole beautiful layering process, and throughout your life, like my life, for myself, like sort of looking at and realizing and understanding these goddess archetypes exist for a reason, and they help us to understand the multifaceted aspects of ourselves at these points in our lives.
Oh, I love that last sentence. Yes. The multifaceted self, because we're always evolving. I really feel as humans, we're very complex. Nothing is completely, one thing. So what do you hope that the readers will take away from your chapter in this book? Because each woman is a frequency keeper that holds their wisdom, a frequency that they're sharing. And for you specifically, your topic is on Mother Gaia, our beautiful planet Earth that we reside on. So what do you hope that they take away from your chapter?
I hope that they take away with them not only the message, but the support from my journey to do things in the way that feeds their soul, because that is what I did through the process of, once my mom, well, even while I, was caring for her, we didn't do anything in the way anybody really thought we should, and the whole thing. But once she did leave, that process of honoring her wishes and doing what she wanted done was not conventional, was not traditional, and it took some doing to implement that. But I was absolutely adamant that it must be done because that's what she wanted, and it fed my soul as well. And I felt her beside me every step of the way, supporting me, guiding me, telling me what to do when I didn't know what to do, when I faced challenges in carrying out her wishes and whatnot. So what I really would love people to take from this is to do do what serves your soul, as long as you're not hurting other people. Do what serves your soul. Do your things that do your life in the way that feeds your soul.
Yes. I love that message. I personally love to live my life by that method of thinking, and at times it could be a very lonely road, or you feel as though it could be a lonely road because it is not the common way. However, I feel we are moving into a place in reality where it's becoming common, and so we're here to support those who are ready to step into that form of empowerment, and it's great to have support of the ones you love around you, but it's also amazing to do things in a way that has never been done before. It's different. I mean, that's kind of bridging the idea of a new planetary world that we see for ourselves, of a higher level of consciousness. So I do feel that this is a good time that this book is being released, because we're all going through cycles of life. And it's been amazing to connect with you through this process. So I would love to share with the individuals that are watching where they can contact, and I'll list the information down below, absolutely. But can you share with us how they can reach you? What is it you offer? And I know that you may or may not be doing a Goddess Summit soon, so I want to be sure we do a shout out on that as well.
Yes, I have a vision of doing a Goddess Summit soon, but yes, right now sometimes my carry through is a little tricky at the moment, just because it's still very fresh with Mom, and so that is quite the journey and quite the transition. So yes, bear with me while I make things happen. But contact me. You can find me on my website, www.bonniepisano.com. You can also reach me through Bonnie at bonniepisano.com. And yes, Pisano, Quiceno. So yeah.
Aw, thank you, Bonnie. We'll be sure to list all below for you guys and update as it happens in real time, because I do want to encourage and support you to step into that embodiment of the next summit. So well, it's been a pleasure, and I'm really grateful to have been able to connect you through this project. And until next time, bye for now, guys.
Thank you so much for having me on, Danielle.
I like when it rains.